This is a special broadcast. We're going to try to cover what we covered. Let's try to cover what we covered yesterday and more.
Thank you for joining the United Constitutional Patriots Radio Show with your host, Johnny. We're going to be talking about on the border, what's going on. We're going to talk about what's going on, issues in the U.S. where we have people that want communism and socialism. Are you serious? If they want that, they can go move to China. See what it's like. People are committing suicide because they don't want to live there no more. But anyway, I'm going to turn it over to Johnny, so just give me a second. Here's Johnny.
Thank you, Pete, and I hope we're on the air. I didn't see no pop-up showing we were on the air. Maybe we'll have better luck tonight than we did last night. However, I want to welcome you to United Constitutional Patriots, where we're going to try to give you the news we tried to give last night. But we were being invaded by the left last night, and we were having a lot of problems. They didn't want us to get on the air. But we do have some information. We have updates. We have a lot of stuff going on, ladies and gentlemen. And you need to know what's going on. It's true news, and that's what matters. We don't sugarcoat it. We cover the news that no one else is going to cover because they're afraid of the left. They're afraid of retaliation. You know what? You have freedom of speech in this country, and by God, we're going to use our freedom of speech, and we're going to reach out to the American people as much as we can. And if they don't like it, they can kiss my royal you-know-what. Bottom line is this. We have our constitutional rights. Our constitutional rights involve our Second Amendment, First Amendment, Third Amendment, Fourth Amendment. You go all the way through them. We have the rights to stand up for ourselves as Americans. And we are going to do that. We, the people, control this country. Not those people sitting in Washington, D.C. that are trying to make laws and excuses and try to block Trump and everything he's doing. We, the people, put them there, and we, the people, can damn sure pull them out. We had a situation today, the FBI, they found they tried another coup on Trump and got caught. Well, hate to tell you this, FBI, but you're going to be a thing of the past before too long. Trump does not put up with no crap, and neither does the American people. We are here for a reason. We stand with Trump for a reason, and we're going to continue to stand with Trump. I don't give a damn who likes it. If the left want to get in the way, let them get there. I really don't care. Here's what's going on. Down on the border, we have about 25,000. They're not. It's a caravan, yes, but they are invaders getting ready to head up. They're going to try to invade our country. Word is it from boots on the ground in Mexico. They're going to try to hit us from on the New Mexico side because they think we're the most unguarded border there is. Our illustrious governor, our new governor, just went to the fence where it was the only part of the fence in the state, which is about a 2-mile fence, was standing there at the fence saying, see, I don't see anything. Naturally, she's at the fence. They're not coming over the fence. They're going around the damn thing. What's the matter with that woman? She's trying her agenda, the same agenda that our other governor did. She will not back President Trump on getting troops on the ground. So the United Constitutional Patriots are the troops on the ground. And because of the fact that we're the only security force for the state of New Mexico, which with us is for the state of New Mexico, we're also a security force of the United States. If we don't stop them coming through, they'll come in and spread out nationwide just like fingers everywhere. And you're going to be fighting on your own problem. She will have just said she can't get it on live stream. Are we streaming, Chuck?
Chuck? It looks to me like we are, but we only got one person watching.
That's okay. There'll be more. So hang with us, folks. I don't think we're having technical difficulties tonight, but I want to make sure that we're live and you're able to get out there. This is not a normal broadcast, so I figure people will come and see it later. I want to, some of the things I'm going to have covered tonight, I will have I will have Nuclear Warrior go over the stuff we went over last night, and there's all kinds of stuff we're going to come up with tonight because we're going to have open forum with everybody. So, Nuclear Warrior, you got anything you want to say?
Well, I wish I'd have taken notes from last night because my mind is a blank right now. On we had so much stuff going on that it's just all in a ball. The one thing that I did want to comment on though was last week, as you recall, we had a little incident here at Lake Buchanan with some individuals pointing and all this kind of stuff, and one of our citizens did take notice and informed local authorities, who pretty much blew it off, and then we got word of it and brought it in the room here, and we had all kinds of activity with some of the alphabetical agencies and, of course, the president. Since then, I heard earlier today that somebody had heard that mentioned in some kind of a news broadcast somewhere else in the country, that a crisis was averted here in Texas. And we're trying to find out what network, what radio or television stations or radio stations or whatever actually broadcast that. But we'd like to have the whole story on what was put out there, because mainstream media has a habit of skewing things to suit their agenda. So we're still digging on that information. From what we've heard from the authorities that did the investigation of the dam there, had helicopters in here and all the personnel that we were told was going to show up, and they have more or less averted the crisis. We haven't heard anything new here yet this past week, but I suspect that there are monitors in the area kind of watching activity surrounding this whole section of the state, because word has it we have a Muslim camp here in the area. We don't know if it's a training camp. We don't know if it's a peaceful religion of peace kind of an organization that they claim to be, but we're still looking to get solid information on that. When we know, well, folks, you'll hear it here first. Incident, it's one of those things, the border is going to always be there. We need to protect it, because as long as the border is there, there's going to be people trying to cross it illegally. We like them to come in, but we like them to be vetted. We like them to be healthy. We like them to be able to contribute to the betterment of our country as well as themselves. We like them to come into the country the correct way. That would be come through a port of entry, apply for citizenship, and do it the right way, and therefore become a citizen of the United States and help us move the country forward. So coming over the border illegally is not the answer. You're going to find yourselves in a lot of trouble. And if you come across the border as an invading force, you're going to be unsuccessful, because Admiral Yamamoto made a statement back in World War II telling his troops that you will never invade mainland America, because there will be a rifle behind every blade of grass. And currently, there are more weapons in this country than there are people, so that should give you a clue as to what you're going to be up against when you come in here as an invading force. So that's it for right now, Johnny. I'm sure some of this stuff will come back to me as we go through the program, and if it strikes a bell with me, I'll flash in. So back to you, Commander.
Thank you. Go ahead, Greg.
Oh, I just wanted to see if Nuclear War could expand upon that a little bit. At first, there was some Arab-looking gentleman in a brand new Escalade there that apparently had something planned for the bridge, but we also mentioned the electrical substation, and they spotted people over there. And I don't know, are we supposed to tell what they found there? Can we go ahead and do that, John?
I don't know if we can legally say anything about it or not yet.
Well, needless to say, the United Constitutional Patriots and Nuclear Warrior and Doc Robinson did a whale of a job thwarting some potential harm there. And so we want to keep people out there looking around. This is a really a unique time when the left is trying to figure out a way to do every false flag they can, whether it's the electrical grid or the water, or colluding with the Chinese to burn up the forest there in California. We were the first to report that, by the way, in case people didn't know. If you haven't seen the pictures and you haven't seen the videos, and the videos taken from helicopters, and you're still doubting the forest fires out there in California, whether these were really caused by lasers, I would highly suggest that you go on to YouTube. In fact, I'll post a couple links here and look at the pictures for yourself. Look at the cars melted on the road, and the fire didn't come from the road, and the vegetation's fine on the side of the road. Houses burned down, and the trees around it are all fine. So you want to see some of these pictures, do your own research. But we were the first to report on that. And from what Q was telling us, it looks like the Chinese had a lot to do with that. Maybe they overrode the sensors in some of the drones and actually flew our drones and did some of this. We know that Governor Brown and some of the California politicians were probably heavily involved with these forest fires, because we know that they were trying to get federal money, that they could embezzle some more money. And President Trump has cut off all FEMA money to them for this very reason. So that was a good story. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in on there. And well, it looks like we're kind of in a slow time for news. All the Patriots are just kind of trading around memes and stuff right now, hoping that we see some results that we can actually see, for the world can see that someone's getting arrested or something's happening, or hopefully a state of emergency on the wall. Looks like the poor President Trump sitting in the White House by himself, hoping they come back to make a deal. But personally, I don't think they're making a deal. I think state of emergency is all he's got. But he's going to keep trying. He's made a heck of a case on Twitter. If you haven't read President Trump's Twitter posts, he's been on quite a tear. And he's also been on a tear on the deep state, now that it's all been brought to light that this was an entire frame job that they had planned before President Trump even fired Comey. And you see Peter Strzok's text coming out today saying that as soon as they fired him, he said, it's time to activate our plan. It's time to put the plan in. As soon as, so they had this planned all along. They even all the way back into 2015 and 16, they were organizing this frame up of the president. So this is a coup. This is treason. And the Patriots are wanting to see people go to see some justice they can count on. A lot of people still haven't showed up. We still haven't heard from Biden and Kerry. And it looks like Podesta's back on Twitter. We don't know if that's really him. It looks like Comey's back on Twitter. So apparently he's not been picked up yet. But so we think they're picking some of them up. We don't know which ones exactly. We hear things, but it's hard to know. We have this picture of Ruth Bader Ginsburg coming out of her doctor's office, but even that's a suspect. We really can't believe what the newspapers or the social media is telling us. A lot of it's fake. So I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. And the Patriots are sort of like impatiently waiting and trying to trust the plan. But that's about all that's going on out here. Other than that, it's been kind of quiet. We did have some pretty darn interesting Q drops that came out. And I'm sure Chuck's going to tell you about that. And it looks like maybe Feinstein took a trip to China, but I'm sure Chuck's going to tell you about that on the Qs. Well, let's see. Let's kick it around here for a minute. Go ahead, Johnny, and I'll try and think of some of the highlights of what's been going on out there. But other than that, it's just kind of quiet. We're all kind of sitting back, waiting and hoping.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I understand I don't know if it was the Senate or the House. Somebody passed a bill somewhere to where you cannot be sworn in on the quorum, period. And it did pass. So now we got a couple of Muslims that's going to have to swear on the Bible and the Constitution. And they're not going to do that. But that's okay. Trump already made a statement. We're not going to have folks, we're not going to have a Democratic Party the way it's going, because half the Democratic Party is being indicted. So they're not going to have a House. What can I say? They brought it on themselves. They have fought Trump. They have fought everything that he has done. Everything. Not one time has he tried to do something they didn't fight him on. And it's not because they aren't behind the agenda. It's because they are putting their hate for Trump because they know what Trump's going to do and what he is doing. There is no doubt in anybody's mind of what their agenda is. Well, I'll tell you what, like I said, we the people, it's time for us to stand up, take over America, protect our borders, and look out for each other instead of turning and walking away and sticking your head in the sand. Because there's a lot of them are doing. A lot of them, they don't want to do it. You're crazy. This ain't happening. I don't know what kind of drugs they're on, but if they can't see what is going on, there's a whole lot wrong. And the average American people, we're not stupid. None of us. The veterans, they're ready to stand up and die for this country again, and they're doing it down on the border, which I'm going to bring it back to the border. Folks, we have men on the border. We have more going to the border. And I mean, we have a lot of them going to the border that are coming in, and we do need help with the funding. I talked to a gentleman today in Klamath Falls, Oregon, very good man, and he said he is going to send a donation to us. He doesn't trust PayPal for some reason, but he said he is sending what do you call it? A cashier's check to the United Constitutional Patriots. So I want to thank him. He's probably listening. Jeb should be on his way up here with his men. 60, I believe he said 64, 68 or something like that. He should be on his way here starting tomorrow. Now that the weather is finally straightened out and it's even warm here. So when they get here and have to go through their week of being vetted and everything, at least it's warm weather. So that's what's going on there. But folks, we do need donations. We need supplies. We need whatever we can get for these people on the border because they're there for the long haul. And this is not going to be a pretty situation, folks. We are there as combat soldiers if necessary. Until that happens, we are there as the ears and the eyes and helping the Border Patrol, the law enforcement, to stop these people from coming in and arrest them if they do come in. Or I should say hold them for the law enforcement until they get in. For those of you that want to come, we do have open carry in this state. You will not be challenged if you are packing a weapon in the open. You will not be challenged for your weapons. So you don't have to worry about that. If you want to make donations to the United Constitutional Patriots, we need night vision really bad. We need binoculars. We need quite a few things. But you can donate whatever you can, from dry foods to clothing to boots, socks, jackets, cooking utensils, cooking gear that the men can use because they're not in motels, they're not in and not eating in restaurants. They are cooking their own food, setting in tents on the border. And you can donate to the United Constitutional Patriots at in care of John Horton or Mark Cheney, Cheney, Post Office Box 1334, Flora Vista, New Mexico, 87415. If you want to be boots on the ground, if you want to help, if you want to donate, you got any questions, call me at 505-334-2492. We need all the help we can get. We are licensed and registered with the state of New Mexico and the federal government as a humanitarian group. That's what we are. When there is hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever, we try to be the first boots on the ground to get help and aid to the people that are in trouble. And now we have had boats that have been donated to us, which is just really great because now we can get out there and do the search and rescue with the law enforcement and the rescue teams and see if we can help save more lives. That's what we're about, folks. Not one penny of what is sent to us is spent for personal use. Nobody is getting paid. This money is for the men on the border. The supplies are for the men on the border. They're going to be there for a while. They're not going to be there overnight. They're going to be there until the wall gets up, because the people on the border are working with us, helping us, and standing with us, helping our men by everything from doing their laundry to feeding these men when they come in. We've got the teams are out for a week, then another team replaces them, and they're in for a week. That way, they have plenty of rest and recuperation, and they are all in good shape. We need to keep these men. We need to keep them well supplied with what they need. They are putting their life on the line again. Most of these men are veterans. They're trained. They're not cowboys running around with how can you put it? They're not running around with an attitude of vigilantes. They are going by the law 100%. If they weren't, they would not be on the border, because we will not put up with any John Waynes. We've already had them, and they were in the movies. So this is what we're looking at. So what I'm asking you to do, folks, is donate any way you can, if you can, and even more yet, your prayers. Your prayers are needed for these men down there. They're away from their families, away from their homes, and to protect our country. They know if this invasion happens and they come through New Mexico, that you're going to be fighting in your own backyards, and that is not an exaggeration. The wall. I got a kick out of Little Rebel. Boy, she's irate today, but she gave me an idea, and I agree with her. On this wall, we could cut down a lot of the expense even after the wall is up if they would put up gun towers all the way along the border and have it manned by 1 or 2 men and 1 roving patrol to carry a certain sector. That way they can see the whole border, and they're not going to be able to dig underneath the wall. They're not going to be able to go over the wall, because they can use rubber bullets to stop them. They don't need real bullets to do it. Rubber bullets will stop them. They're not going to rush that wall if they know they're going to get shot off with a rubber bullet. Non-lethal. Common sense, beanbags. There's ways to do this to where it's still humanitarian, not killing them, but it's stopping them from coming in. If they want to come in, have them come the legal way. That's the only way that I agree with. Let them do the right paperwork. Let them come through. Let them be vetted. Let them be sworn in as Americans. If that's what they want to do, they can do it legal. Otherwise, we don't need them. They're coming here not to be friendly. They're coming under their country flag, waving it, burning American flags, and chanting to kill Americans. Is this kind of people you want here? Folks, there's something really bad wrong with that. You have disease, everything from tuberculosis, Black Plague, you name it. They brought it back to our country. We've got to stop this from happening. You have MS-13. You have other gang members. You have cold-blooded killers. ISIS, we found out, are training MS-13. And these are the people that are trying to get in here. They're fighting right now in Mexico. Gunfights. We have been having gunfights on our borders. We've had no casualties in the U.S. that I know of. But we are being attacked now, firefights, and I don't know if there's any casualties on the other side or not, but I know there hasn't been any on our side, so we've been very lucky. We don't need body bags, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen what happens in war. Our veterans, 90% of them are combat veterans. They've seen war. They don't want to see it. We only want our freedom. We only want our country. We want our jobs, our people to be working, our economy growing. This is happening with Trump. But the problem is we've got the people that have come in illegal, trying to take jobs away, bringing disease to us and everything else, and it's hurting our economy as well as America itself. But they have that. You got anything you want to say, Nuclear Warrior?
Yeah, thank you, Johnny. I'll elaborate a little bit on situation awareness. Folks, as you may or may not know, they do have some of their people inside the country already. They have been here for a while now, and more seem to slip through every day. these are the people that are going to go active once they get organized at the southern border and decide to rush it in New Mexico. The border excursion will be the diversion that will allow these people already embedded in the interior to become active and join the fight from the backside. In other words, they're going to flank us at our positions on the border, so that we'll have two fronts to have to fight them on: the southern border and also the back zones that are going to be less protected. So it's up to the citizenship, it's up to the patriots, it's up to individuals. If you value your freedom and you love your country and you don't want to see it fall to invading forces that include MS-13, drug cartel, UN operatives from all over Europe and probably Africa as well, just to name a few, then pay attention to your surroundings. If you see people that seem to be new to the area, or they're just looking around because maybe they appear that they don't know where they are, pay attention to what they're doing, because they may be scoping out potential targets for when the shit hits the fan. So it's up to you. We can only do so much as the United Constitutional Patriots. Right now, our attention is on the border itself and the influx coming towards it. We're going to rely on your help to help us keep an eye on what's going on the inside of the country. You see something out of place, let the authorities know. You don't get an adequate response from the authorities, let us know. We have a way to get information to the people who matter most and able to make the big, hard decisions. So that's it from me. Do your part to help your country survive the coming onslaught. Back to you, Commander.
Thank you. Chuck, you got any news you want to give?
Well, no, not a whole lot at the moment. I did want to mention that last show, one of the last two shows I did, when I did the Qs, we had a Q come in. It was Q 2669 that showed a photograph of the interior of a Chinese airport. And Q said, awaiting VIP arrival. Now, you might, if you're watching our YouTube live stream, you should be able to see it on your screen. It said, awaiting VIP arrival. What senior U.S. official is arriving in China? Purpose? Q. Okay. Now, if you're watching on our YouTube live stream, and everybody here at the radio room should be able to see where I posted it there, somebody took that photograph and they blew up a section of it, and in that middle picture is the blow up, and you can see the pillar to the left, and then there's a person right to the right of that pillar. And it turns out, apparently, that person is one Senator Dianne Feinstein. So now the question is, what is Senator Dianne Feinstein doing in an airport in China? Who was she there to see? And what was she giving them? Back to you, Commander.
Okay, thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, as you know, this was a special broadcast. Has anybody else got anything that they want to add to this tonight? Okay, because go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, I wanted just to go over some of what President Trump has been saying, just to give you an idea of the cost that this is when we get our border overrun. 23% of all federal prisoners are illegals. And when you consider that's probably 2.5 million people, costing at an average of $62,000 a year to the taxpayers, You can see where a wall can start paying for itself real fast here. Also, if you missed last night's guest, one of these caravans had a bunch of mad gangsters that had a pet lion, a white lion or something, leopard something, and they were feeding people to it, skinning people alive. We've had one of our people in the caravan that called in and reported mentioned something I don't think a lot of people picked up on, a drug called Devil's Breath that I want everybody to Google, because 50,000 people a year in Mexico are reported killed from Devil's Breath. And basically the way that it works is it's a powder, and they'll poof it in your face, and you will do absolutely anything they tell them. And they empty out all your bank accounts, take all your money, rape you, and then they wind up taking body organs and selling them, organ harvesting. And generally they don't kill you. You wake up in a bed of ice 3 days later and all your money's gone. And this is the kind of thing these people are bringing in, as well as, like you said, they're bringing in diseases. They're trafficking children, and Obama was perfectly happy to give these children back to child traffickers, people that weren't even their parents, did no investigation to find out who these children really belonged to. And I know that President Trump's not going to allow that, and he's going to get after that. So we've got that, and we've got a lot of hard drugs like amphetamine, fentanyl and methamphetamine and heroin and things that are killing people every day here in America, flooding over the border. So there's a lot of really bad things coming with this. If they just use the door now, President Trump has said, if people are here and they've been here a long time and they're working, he's not people that aren't breaking the law and that have been here a long time. I think he's going to find them a path to citizenship. It's not like he's trying to be mean about this. He's just trying to be realistic that, you can't get in this country if you're Canadian and you've got money and skills and everything. There's no way. It's almost impossible to get in this country from another country, but Mexico can just overrun the border. And also, we want people to keep an eye out for these strange camps that are all over the country. Obama put in all these, I call them terrorist camps. You can call them anything that you want. But he supplied them with weapons. He flew in Muslim combatants every night on black planes, didn't go through customs. So these weren't even really immigrants or refugees. They were just enemy combatants brought in by Obama. So we want to keep our eyes open. A lot of people are unaware that these things are out in the country in places they live. So you want to keep your head on a swivel. And if you see something, call it in. So, we're basically and of course, the Canadian Trudeau, who's a globalist, probably, I'll just stop there. He's a globalist, but he's trying to get millions of Muslims in to attack us from the north. So I think President Trump needs to put the hammer on him. I would go up there. You don't want to know what I would do, because that's an act of war as far as I'm concerned. I would go out and take him out, I love the Canadians and the Canadian people, and they don't like him either. So if he wants a war, I'd consider that an act of war. I would probably go up there and just pop him right in the head if it was me, but I'm not the president. So, we're not going to let our country get invaded. The Canadians don't want to be invaded. If we need to go in there and actually move troops into the Capitol and take, and arrest him, then I think that we need to. I really believe that. So that's just where I'm coming from on the Canadian situation. That's about it, Johnny.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else got anything they want to add to this? Okay, folks. Like I said, I know this is a short show, but we wanted to bring up the main highlights of last night's show because we were cut off so bad. Again, we need your donations. Share this for listeners. Please share this to your friends. We need donations for these men. We need them really bad. It's wintertime down here, and down there it's not as cold as it is where we are here in New Mexico, but it still gets chilly down there. It's wintertime. If you want to make donations, please donate to the United Constitutional Patriots Facebook page. You can Google it; it'll pop up. There's a GoFundMe there. There's also a PayPal account. If you want to send help to us with supplies, gas cards, Walmart cards, anything these guys can use to get what they need and to get to where they're going and what they're doing, you can send it to the United Constitutional Patriots. care of John Horton or Mark Cheney at Post Office Box 1334, Flora Vista, New Mexico, 87415. If you want to help with boots on the ground, all you have to do is give me a call at 505-334-2492. I will tell you what you have to do. Okay, you got JB and Walter didn't get a notice here now. Now and grateful. Hi. Well, I wanted to give a shout out to you. I want to give a shout out to Tim, who's one of our truck drivers that's doing what they can. Now we have a gentleman that's trying to. He's got about $400 or $500 worth of supplies, and he's trying to get out here. He's in Elk City, Oklahoma. He needs a ride. He needs help to get these supplies out here to the men. He's very much a patriot, but he doesn't have a vehicle he can get out here with. But he is coming out here. He will be working up here with us and helping us as a runner, helping to get supplies down to the border when we have to take them down. And he will be working out of headquarters here. And when necessary, he will himself and myself will be boots on the ground if it comes to that down on the border. I've been there before, done it before, willing to do it again. But anyway, he is in Elk City, Oklahoma. He needs a ride out here, and he needs help to get his stuff out here that he has donated. Like I said, he has $400 or $500 worth of food. He has about 500 gallons of water alone. So we need help to get him here. So if anybody coming out of Oklahoma along Interstate 40, give me a call, please, at 505-334-2492. I will put you in direct contact with the gentleman. He needs to get here, and he's chomping at the bits to get here. But we do have a semi-driver that is one of our men, has been for over 5 years. If he can get a run through there, he said he'd bring him to where we could go pick him up and get the supplies. So he said he does have about a pickup full of stuff. So if somebody could help us out that way, please call me at 505-334-2492. If you want to help with boots on the ground, information on how and what you need to do to come out, call me 505-334-2492. This is all that I've got to say this evening, folks. We will be on tomorrow night with our regular programming at 6 o'clock. If we're a little bit late, bear with us because we do have problems with our server, not our server, but I should say YouTube, not wanting us to get the messages out now. But you know what? We'll deal with it. We got God on our side. And, you know, look around you, watch, be very observative of what's going on around you. If you see something that's not right, please call the law. Let them know that you're there. I also want to reach out to the law enforcement agencies that I know to listen to avidly. That is St. Bernard Parish down in Louisiana. Then we have the Mojave County Sheriff's Department, Arizona, San Juan County Sheriff's Department here, and numerous other ones nationwide. We have the law enforcement now listening to us, getting a lot of information from us. Go ahead, Nuclear Warrior.
Yeah, Johnny, just wanted to correct you on the next show. Today being Saturday, we'll have it on Monday at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. Also, in light of the continuing government shutdown, I'm seeing some posts of folks thinking that maybe there are a bunch of food stamp recipients who are about to go without their monthly allotment, and the left may consider using them as a social unrest platform to create yet another false flag event on the interior with the social unrest issue, which would be another distraction away from the border and away from continued vigilance for terrorist activity on the interior. So keep that in mind as you travel about the country as well, folks. this could become a dangerous situation. The left just does not want to concede the fact that it's not President Trump's fault for having the shutdown. If the Democrats want to come to the table and reach an agreement on funding the wall, the things could get a lot smoother, a lot faster. But every attempt to negotiate with Schumer and Pelosi has been a wash. He just gets the same static answer every time. Pelosi just will not cave. She will not say yes to anything. She told him no again, and he just walked out of the meeting, said it was hopeless. So you can blame the president if you want, but you'd be wrong, because he is in favor of ending this thing just as quickly and amicably as possible. But the left side just will not cooperate. So I guess, Commander, that's going to be it for tonight. And I think we probably could use an evening prayer, but I want to hand it off to Greg because I saw him flash there, Commander.
Okay, go ahead. Real quick, before you go, Greg, JB and Walter, I want to thank you. He said, hey, there's a package headed your all's way. Thank you, and God bless you. The men can use it. It's highly appreciated. Go ahead, Greg.
Oh, I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. I think Monday we're going to have Michael Hutton on, who's finished the Patriot platform. So we'll have a new social networking platform, and he's going to tell us all about the Patriot Union, so we can all become card-carrying union members and start to really use our clout on a lot of these politicians that just don't seem to want to act right. Don't ever want to say that we were wrong. I mean, you look at the top 28 people at FBI, other than Mueller. Mueller is still there, but he wasn't. Remember, he wasn't in the FBI or DOJ at the time. But the top 28, now 29, with the exiting of Rosenstein, have now been forced out. And you'll see President Trump twittered today that these are the same people that forced him out that tried to overthrow the government in a hostile coup, an illegal coup against the government. But I did want to just give a shout out. Michael is a fantastic speaker. We've had him on once before. He's brilliant. And he gives us a really kind of a unique perspective. You know, he's a faith-based person. He sees this as a spiritual battle as much as a political battle, but he's a very grounded, down-to-earth person that realizes that really without the union, without the Patriot Union, we'll never keep the swamp at bay. We can pull the weeds once and the plants grow, but weeds come back, and you never get all the weeds. So in the long term, we're going to need the United Constitutional Patriots, and we're going to need our own platform, and we're going to need a union. And if we're going to save this country for our kids, we're going to need to get back our educational system. I hope that you'll all check out AmericanWatersheds.com on ebook. It's a great book of history. History of media, history of the cultural and political activists in America, full of music and music links that you'll enjoy. So I hope we'll start learning our Constitution. Always go to Oregon Trackers on YouTube. That's your best source for the original Constitution, which we're returning to, which is going to mean a whole new ball of wax for America. It means we're going to have rights again instead of privileges. And so it's really going to be a whole new ball game, or an old one, depending on how you look at it. But we are returning to the Constitution. I hope you all say your prayers for Ed Johnston. He's still recovering. But check out his show, Oregon Trackers, on YouTube. And look forward to Michael Hutton this Monday. This is going to be a fabulous show. And we'll be covering on the border again as well. But this should be a really special night, Monday night.
Thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. And yeah, folks, Monday night, 6 o'clock, Wednesday night, 6 o'clock, and Friday night, 6 o'clock on Mountain Time. Now, if we are late, remember, it's not us. We have been fighting lately. We've had several fights with YouTube, and they don't like us being on the air. They want to shut us down. They want to shut us up. We're not going to let them do it. And it takes you folks standing behind us. So if we're not on, just stand by, because we will be on, even if we're like last night. We were an hour late. They interrupted our show a couple of times, but we went on. It was a two-part show. but we went on. But that's why I wanted to come on tonight, so everybody would know. If we don't come on when we're supposed to, stand by. We will be on, even if we're late. So, because your feedback is very important to us. We need to know what's going on, your thoughts in your areas. Watch what's going on in your areas. If you see something that does not look right, people being watching you. Would you see somebody, vans that have dark windows and they're acting suspicious? Man, keep an eye on them, report them, find out what's going on. Don't take no law in your own hands. You need to, be trained, but you don't have to be trained to be vigilant. All you got to do is contact the authorities if there's something that isn't right. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chuck, and then I will do the closing. Chuck, would you mind doing the prayer for the evening?
All right, sir, we can do that. Lord Jesus, we come before you right now, seeking your guidance as we continue to do this great work that you've given us to do. We thank you, Lord, for all the many blessings of life you bestow upon us each and every day, and we thank you for the blessing of being able to come here each and every day and do this work to try to save our country for the next generation. We thank you, Lord, for this great country that you have given us, for this great republic. We thank you, Lord, for our president. We thank you for all those working together with him to the betterment of this country and to the defeat of the deep state. We ask you to bless them and keep your watch care over them, your protection upon them. We thank you, Lord, for all of our wonderful listeners that come here each and every program to receive the information that we have to give out. We ask you, Lord, now, as we depart from here, that you would continue with us now and throughout the remainder of this night and in the coming days. Continue to guide us, guard us, and direct us, and draw us ever closer to one another, ever closer to thee. It be our prayer in Jesus' holy name. Amen and amen. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Chuck, and amen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you, Robert, for tuning in tonight. This was an unscheduled show. We did announce we were going to try tonight. Don't know how many listeners we are because I can't see it, but I want to thank you for the ones that are there. Thank you very much for your donations, JB and Walter. It makes me feel good that there's folks like you out there that want to do your part in helping, and it's highly appreciated. I want to thank the President of the United States for everything he's doing. Keep him in your prayers. All of you keep him in his prayers. He's on an uphill battle all the way. I want to thank all the law enforcement out there, all the first responders, military, especially our patriots that are on the borders, not just in New Mexico, but all the way across the United States of America. They're there because they're putting their life on the line to help keep the Americans free and to help keep you free. And that's what this is about. We are fighting for the freedom of America. We're fighting as one. We have to unite. We have to stand together. We have to back everybody that is for the right reason. And with that, I'm going to say you all have a great night. We'll see you Monday night at 6 o'clock. Anytime you have questions or anything, feel free to call me at 505-334-2492. I will answer any questions you have. Maybe you have a problem that you don't know how to handle, where it even concerns your constitutional rights. I can put you in contact with people who can help you. There's a lot of things we're able to do that people don't realize. We are, like I said, we do have the support of the White House. We have the support of a lot of people that the average American doesn't have. But we have contacts in the Oval Office. We know what's going on. We find out what's going on. And we report to you what we can. A lot of stuff that we are given, we can't report until we're given clearance. But as soon as we're given clearance, we do report it to you. So with that, You have a great night. God bless you. God bless America. And we'll see you our next show. Have a great one.
Thank you for joining the United Constitutional Patriots. We'll be back on the show Monday at 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. God bless all you Patriots and have a great weekend.